I know I don't look like most Nebraskans, but there's no reason to stare.
Marriage equality is overturned, then I no longer recognize or participate in heterosexual marriages at all. I won't be attending, I won't be sending gifts, I won't be supporting your kids.
Another day, another batch of delusional and dumb TikToks, because y'all seem to enjoy watching me suffer. Welcome back to another bonus episode of the Brad vs. Everyone podcast, where I react to extremely dumb and obnoxious woke TikToks from the perspective of a normal gay guy who hasn't quite lost his mind, at least not quite yet. You guys enjoy these. I don't know why you do. You're a little sick, a little twisted like that. So we're going to watch a few TikToks that came across my timeline this week that made me dumber, made me lose brain cells. Up first, we've got somebody who really does not want your attention and does not want to be stared at, but also has done a lot of things that might cause one to be stared at. Let's take a look.
I know I don't look like most Nebraskans, but there's no reason to stare. No reason. Absolutely none. I get it. I got piercings. I got big eyeliner. I got all this, but that doesn't mean that I'm not as human as you. Little Nebraskans.
I don't look like most Nebraskans might be an understatement there, my friend. I mean, for audio listeners, this person has an interesting haircut, very shaped eyebrows, and then a bunch of face piercings, a massive double-sided nose ring hanging out of her septum piercing. And I really don't care. Express yourself however you want. Like, be goth, be emo. I don't personally love the idea of piercing a bunch of holes in my face, but it's your face, it's your life. But what you're not going to do is do all that. Do the absolute most to say, please look at me, please, I'm special, I'm different. And then when people look at you, act like you've been hate crimed. No, babe, you did something seeking attention and then got some attention. That does not make you a victim. That makes you an adult who is getting the consequences of their actions. I'm sorry, but like, people staring at you, it is rude to stare, but oh my gosh, you can only do so much and then be surprised that people stare, and then to act like they are dehumanizing you. She actually said that. Like, I'm still a human. No one said you weren't. You just made yourself into a spectacle, then got mad people treated you like a spectacle and looked at you a little too long. I try to be sympathetic to young people because they really don't have it so easy today in many ways. But then y'all just have to just do the absolute most and play the victim in the most absurd ways that I just cannot bring myself to even have an ounce of sympathy. Maybe that makes me heartless. Maybe that makes me a bad guy, or maybe that just makes me realistic, unlike our friend here. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. While you're at it, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed, yada, yada, yada. And now, another interesting video from a gay man explaining what he will do if gay marriage is overturned.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if marriage equality is overturned, then I no longer recognize or participate in heterosexual marriages at all. I won't be attending, I won't be sending gifts, I won't be supporting your kids. At all.
Oh, what the actual heck? There's so much here. One, everyone on TikTok and on the internet is freaking out over gay marriage being overturned. I did a full episode of the podcast. You can go back in the feed or back on my channel and see that, explaining why that's not likely. They're totally misinterpreting the news about the Supreme Court and melting down for no reason. Read my previous email on that one. I'm not going to relitigate it all. However, let's talk about this. So you are going to punish straight loved ones by boycotting their wedding and not supporting their kids. So you're just going to be a terrible uncle and, oh, my sweet little niece is turning 3. Yeah, well, you, little Susan, no birthday present for you. I won't be supporting you because of what the Supreme Court just ruled on gay marriage. The math is not mathing. It's not mathing for me. Like, imagine taking it out on innocent people and loved ones who you're supposed to care about because a big political decision didn't go your way. It's not even going to happen. But even if it did, this would be an extremely unhinged and toxic and emotionally immature way to handle it. It is not your sister's fault. even if she doesn't support gay marriage, but she probably does, right? Even if she doesn't, though, she had no impact on this. So why are you going to boycott her wedding? Not support your nieces and nephews? You just come off sounding twisted here and toxic. But that sadly makes it kind of typical for TikTok. What do you guys think? And buckle up, because we've got a real doozy from the next one after this.
Hey there. Are you looking for the perfect night's sleep at a great price? Well, I was too, which was why I was excited to partner with today's sponsor, Brooklyn Bedding, which has been crafting top-tier mattresses since 1995 that ship right from their Arizona factory to your door for free. As you can see, we got ours in over a week ago, and it is genuinely the comfiest bed I have ever owned. And I take my sleep seriously because I suffer pretty severe brain damage watching and reacting to stupid things on this podcast, so I need that recovery sleep. And I've genuinely woken up with more energy ever since we switched to the Brooklyn Bedding mattress. And I get really hot when I sleep, but this mattress is perfectly designed to keep you cool at night. Plus, Brooklyn Bedding mattresses are designed, assembled, and shipped from the Arizona factory, meaning premium materials at a reasonable price for you, with no middleman bringing up the cost. Also, Brooklyn Bedding mattresses do not contain fiberglass, and as you might have seen on TikTok or in the news, there have been a number of issues and lawsuits related to fiberglass in mattresses, so I sleep easier at night knowing that Brooklyn Bedding doesn't have any of that. And guys, trying it yourself is risk-free because they offer a 120-night sleep trial and a limited lifetime warranty. I love my Brooklyn Bedding mattress, and I honestly think you guys would too. So if you're looking for a new bed, check out brooklynbedding.com or use the QR code on screen and use code BRADPolumbo at checkout for 30% off your Brooklyn Bedding mattress. You'll be glad you did.
Okay, guys, up next, we've got a helpful video from a TikTok friend who is going to explain to us how a bunch of things that have nothing to do with race or gender are actually white supremacy and misogyny. Let's buckle up and get ready to get educated by our betters over on TikTok.
Here are some things that are white supremacy and or misogyny. Having a high pain tolerance. Think about it. Because why should we have to endure any? Because we weren't getting treated. Why weren't we getting treated? Ooh, we see.
I mean, or it could just be that sometimes life involves pain and some people are more tolerant of it than others. Some people are grittier than others and more resilient than others. Now, there may be specific ways in which the pain of women or Black people in the past in particular was discounted or under-researched. I'm totally open to that. But the concept of pain tolerance itself is not racist or sexist. I myself have very low pain tolerance and am kind of a whiny brat when it comes to that sort of thing. Yeah, that's a reach. Big reach. But continue, I guess.
Using classy as a term of desirability. Because class? Which class? Huh? So we're seeing that intersection of that yeah, we're seeing where class C is actually just white supremacy. Yeah, you see that? Are we seeing me?
Am I the only one who's not seeing it? Like maybe I need glasses or contacts or something because I'm looking, but I'm not in fact seeing it. You might be actually the one. You're the only one seeing it. Like everyone else is looking and it's only you seeing it. So maybe it's actually you seeing things, my dear. It is not racist or sexist to have an idea that some things are classy and some things are trashy. It doesn't necessarily even have anything to do with race at all or gender. If anything, you could make the argument that it's about socioeconomics. It's about like wealth and status, and some things come off as lowbrow and highbrow. But that again has nothing to do with gender. Like when my sister comes downstairs and is about to go out and her outfit, she asks me, is this classy? And I say yes or no. I'm not thinking, is that like a white outfit or is that a male outfit? What? It doesn't even make sense. Obviously, we're talking about something different there, something that is not racist or sexist because it's just not fundamentally about that. You could maybe argue if you're like some Marxist person who doesn't believe that classes should exist at all or that anything any differences in wealth or anything are acceptable, maybe that's where you could go with that. But making it about gender isn't a thing, and making it about race is an enormous stretch. But that's kind of par for the course for this video. This next one is kind of crazy. Take a listen.
Borders.
Oh.
Like the drawing of borders is white supremacy. It is. Because like Nigeria wasn't a country. Britain just drew a line and said, this is our part of Africa. Let's smush all these people together and call it a day. Oh, and we're going to give the power to one side and then make them control the rest. Yeah. You see what? Borders, just as a concept, is white supremacy. Yes, because what is
No. I mean, you could certainly make the case that the historical drawing of certain borders was related to race and racism, sure, but the concept itself has nothing to do with racism. It's something that has existed in every nation and every country ever, including between countries where they are the same race, right? It's not just about race, it's about defining the nation state itself. And I'm sorry, but if you're going to argue that anyone who wants to be anti-racist has to support complete open borders, global chaos, mass migration, you're setting yourself up for a losing argument every time. 99 out of 100 people are going to look at you like you're insane, because you kind of are. But other than that, you're doing amazing. This next one, just brace yourself, okay? Take a listen.
the concept of gossiping? It's white supremacy. Because what is gossiping but an exchange of information? And I know that that's something we say often, but why would someone want you why would they want to have a negative connotation around exchanging information? Because that was how people who are not in a room all together smoking cigars, that's how we had. So when they do it, it's not gossiping, it's helpful context, it's information. We're just exchanging it's a meeting of minds. But when it's got white supremacy and misogyny, yeah.
Okay, so this one is funny to me because I don't know about y'all, but I associate gossip very closely with like white gay men. So the idea that it's, oh, we only think of gossip as a distinct concept from, normal, reputable sharing of information because of white supremacy and sexism doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you start there. But she's ignoring the fact that there are pretty fundamental distinctions between gossip and sharing information. And those are like the reason that distinction exists. Gossip is like often word of mouth or loosely based or just rumors about people. It's not, just important context or sharing information. So that's why it's a distinction, not because of who's doing it and their skin pigment. Also, gossip, when we talk about gossip, it tends to be stuff that's like not really relevant to you, or it's other people's business that you just kind of have a morbid curiosity in. Like, oh, did you hear Brad and Susan might get a divorce? Like, it's not actually something that's relevant to you or the news or your life or what's happening at your workplace. It's like just tea. That's why it exists as a different concept from useful information sharing, not because of racism, not because of sexism. And all of this, like, I want to give this chick a gold medal for mental gymnastics of the Olympic level, just stretching and twist. I honestly think with this level of loose connection, you could start with almost any concept or anything and connect it to racism and sexism and then want to tear it down. Like, this is a recipe for social anarchy. I know that they know that and that's why they want it, to be clear, but it's why no reasonable person is going to buy this. And I think this is obviously an extreme example, maybe to some extent an outlier example, but progressive voices and kind of liberal culture have very much done this much more broadly, making everything racism and sexism, blah, 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 blah. And they don't seem to realize it, but when everything is some form of bigotry, then actually like kind of nothing is. You are watering down those concepts to the point of near meaninglessness. And the result of that is not a more just and more tolerant society. It's actually one where we lose the language and the ability to call out actual toxic behavior and bigotry where it does exist, because people have stopped listening to the warnings because of so many years of boy who cried wolf on this issue. But keep it up. You're doing great. This kind of content is really, really helping. Up next, we got a new woke conspiracy theory that Trump is going to bring back slavery. Yeah, get ready and take a listen and prepare to have your mind expanded and opened.
The only group that he's actually after is black people. That's why he's deporting Latinos, because who's going to work in the fields now? With black female unemployment rate reaching an all-time high. He literally said, he was like, they were on a farm and he was talking about farmer responsibility. As in people could live on these farms with these farmers and they could just build property on the land and people could live here and work on the fields. Does that not sound familiar? Make America Great Again is bringing back slavery.
Oh gosh. Wow, where to even begin with this one? First, a bunch of just straight up falsehoods. She says black female unemployment is at a historic high. That's absolutely not true. It's at a normal level. It's been much, much higher in the past. Also, when she talks about what Trump said about farmer responsibility, he was actually talking about illegal immigrants being potentially granted some form of temporary amnesty to continue to work in the field. So it's actually the opposite of what she's saying. And then, listen, I've been critical of a lot of Trump's immigration policies and the way he's going about it, but he is not just broadly deporting Latinos. He is deporting immigrants and undocumented people. So that is not the same thing as Latinos, and it is actually pretty racist to conflate American citizens who are Latino with illegal immigrants who Trump is deporting. Those are not the same group of people, in fact. And it's not very woke of you to conflate them like this. And listen, nobody is going to be forced to work in agriculture. They are trying to get Americans to do those jobs. I am pretty skeptical that that's going to work. But the idea that anybody is going to be enslaved on a farm or a plantation is absurd, has no basis in reality. And it's just sad to see these young people on TikTok crashing out like this over things that are literally not happening. They're subjecting themselves to this level of mental anguish and hysteria that is just utterly, utterly unwarranted. And it's honestly sad. It's really driving, I think, a lot of the anxiety and mental illness issues we see with this young generation is that they're constantly worked up over things that are unfortunately not occurring, or in this case, fortunately not occurring. But they just, I think the algorithms reward it. They reward the panicked nature of it all, the doomsdayism, the alarmism. The algorithms reward this stuff. And so we'll get more and more of it because people are totally uneducated, totally detached from reality, and utterly lacking basic media and civic literacy. And this kind of thing is the wonderful result of that rather bleak state of affairs. That's my take on it, at least. What do you guys think? Which one of these crazy TikTok videos was your favorite? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't yet. Hit that like button while you're at it. And guys, we'll be back with more Brad versus Everyone real soon.